Kim Jong Un was born into a world shaped by secrecy, power, and absolute control. His childhood was hidden behind the walls of the royal compounds of Pyongyang, where only a select few people knew his daily life. His father, Kim Jong Il, trained him from an early age to rule a nation that believed it stood strong against the entire world. In those early years, he was taught that leadership meant loyalty, strength, and fear. His tutors told him that the outside world wanted to harm his family, and that only a ruler with unwavering resolve could protect their legacy. As he grew older, he watched his father make decisions that shaped the destiny of millions. He saw how laws could be written and undone within minutes, and how the will of the leader became the law itself. This idea of supreme power settled deep in his mind. He believed that true authority had no boundaries, and no one in the country could question it. When he was sent to study in Switzerland, he observed a different world, but he also learned how people outside North Korea thought, ate, and lived. He kept his identity hidden, but those who knew him described him as quiet, intelligent, and watchful behind his playful appearance. Kim Jong Un had an older half-brother named Kim Jong Nam. Kim Jong Nam had once been expected to become the future leader, but a single mistake from his youth changed his destiny forever. He had tried to visit Tokyo Disneyland using a fake passport. This caused humiliation for the family, and enraged his father, Kim Jong Il decided that anyone who could bring embarrassment to the royal bloodline was unfit to rule. After these events, Kim Jong Nam lost his place as the future heir over time. Kim Jong Nam began living outside the country. He stayed in Macau and often traveled across Asia. He preferred a freer style of life and did not want to rule a nation with strict control. He spoke openly to some reporters about his views and even expressed doubts about the leadership of North Korea. These comments reached Pyongyang and angered powerful figures in the regime. They saw him as a danger, a loose thread that could unravel stability if foreign nations ever tried to use him for political influence. Because of this, he lived under constant risk, even as he tried to live quietly. When Kim Jong Il passed away, the young Kim Jong Un rose to power. He was still in his 20s, but the military elite and the Workers' Party followed the command of the dying leader, who declared that Kim Jong Un would inherit the throne. Kim Jong Un immediately began to reshape the state. He dismissed many senior figures and replaced them with loyalists. He wanted to show that even though he was young, he was not weak. He demonstrated this by making bold decisions, including launching tests of powerful weapons and giving speeches that declared North Korea would never bow before external powers. Kim Jong Un then made laws that strengthened his authority. These laws gave him more control over the military, the economy, and even how people could think, speak, or assemble. Every action in the country required approval from the state, and the state meant him. No one could question him because his word was considered divine truth. But at the same time, he would break these rules whenever it served his needs. He traveled secretly whenever he wanted. He changed policies overnight. He punished officials for actions that were allowed the previous week. In the North Korean system, laws existed only to maintain fear and obedience, and Kim Jong Un stood above all of them. The story of his half-brother Kim Jong Nam took a darker turn. Kim Jong Un believed that allowing him to live freely outside the country could give enemies of the state a chance to use him against the regime. He feared foreign intelligence agencies might try to present Kim Jong Nam as a rival leader or a symbolic figure to reduce the authority of Kim Jong Un. For this reason, he ensured that Kim Jong Nam would never return to North Korea. He was expelled from the inner family circle. He was watched closely from afar, and his movements were monitored by silent eyes across Asia. Kim Jong Nam eventually settled in Macau, where he lived with his family under unofficial protection. He often spoke to friends about his fear of being targeted. He believed that someday his younger brother might decide that he posed too great a risk to be left alive. Even though he avoided politics, he could not escape the shadow of his birth. Kim Jong Un continued to build his power. In North Korea, he created laws that required absolute loyalty to him. He ordered huge statues to be built and introduced programs in which people studied his life from childhood to adulthood. Every classroom, every military camp, and every workplace had portraits of him. People had to recite praises to the leader and pledge undying devotion. He changed or removed any law that limited his ability to rule. He placed his own people in every key position and eliminated anyone who could challenge him. His rule became unpredictable. Sometimes he punished officials for minor failures. Other times, he rewarded them for taking bold risks. Many of his decisions seemed to come suddenly, without warning and without explanation. This unpredictability created fear among those around him. They never knew what might bring reward or punishment. His power depended on keeping everyone on edge. Outside North Korea, major nations saw his rise with concern. The United States, China, South Korea, and Japan watched his every move. He ordered missile launches that flew over oceans and showed the world that he planned to become a global force. His speeches were full of strong words, and even powerful countries did not know how far he was willing to go. This uncertainty made them cautious. Some feared that confronting him too strongly might start a conflict. Others believed that ignoring him would only make him stronger. One of the most significant events related to his power was the fate of Kim Jong Nam. In the year when the world least expected it, Kim Jong Nam was attacked in Malaysia using a deadly nerve agent. The event shocked global media and intelligence agencies. Many believed it was ordered to eliminate any potential rival to the throne. The act showed how far Kim Jong Un was willing to go to secure his authority. It also sent a message to anyone who dared challenge him. Whether inside or outside the country, his reach could extend far beyond his borders. Kim Jong Un built a world where laws were created to control the people, yet he himself lived above those laws. He traveled when he wished, he changed rules whenever it suited him, and he punished others for breaking rules that he himself ignored. The essence of his leadership was absolute power that answered only to his desires. Inside North Korea, stories were told of his wisdom, his bravery, and his strength. But outside, the world saw a ruler who used fear and secrecy to maintain control. He shaped his country into a place where the leader was the sun, and every citizen had to orbit around him. Any small deviation could lead to disappearance or punishment, but Kim Jong Un himself could do anything he wanted. Whenever something threatened his position, he removed it. Whenever a new idea arose, he decided whether it lived or died. His people obeyed because they had no choice. He controlled the media, the schools, the military, and even the way families talked at home. From birth to death, every citizen lived under the shadow of his authority. In this world, one person controlled every path and no one could challenge him. The story of Kim Jong Un is the story of power unrestrained. It is the story of how a young leader took control of a nation and bent its entire structure to his will. It is the story of a man who rose over his own family, removed his rivals, and ensured that no law, no rule, and no tradition could limit him. When he wanted to strengthen a rule, he wrote it. When he wanted to break it, he erased it. His authority was permanent and unquestionable.
North Korea is known as one of the most tightly controlled nations in the world, and many people describe it as a prison from which escape feels impossible. The entire country is built on strict rules, fear, and total surveillance. Citizens cannot travel freely, and every movement is watched by state officers. People must obey the leader without question, and even a small mistake can lead to severe punishment. Families are monitored, schools teach loyalty to the leader, and the media shows only what the government allows. The borders are guarded with heavy security and fences, making it extremely difficult for anyone to leave the country. Those who try to escape face dangerous conditions, harsh weather, wild terrain, and the risk of being captured by border patrols. If someone is caught, the punishment can include prison, labor camps, or worse. Entire families can suffer because the government believes that loyalty must be absolute and shared by everyone within a household. Many people dream of freedom, but fear holds them back.